Have you ever imagined how a screenwriter can turn an idea into screenplay? It all starts from the creative process that made it all possible. Not only that, but the creative process can turn any excellent idea, concept, any material, or maybe any life philosophies into a screenplay. As the director of the film Everything Everywhere All at Once did, they managed to mix different elements, different levels of emotions, and even philosophies into the movie. So, how did they manage to mix it all? So, in this paper, we're gonna talk about how the power of art and creativity involves in Everything Everywhere All at Once. So Everything Everywhere All at Once is a film written and directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Stewart, or as known as the Daniels. The film depicts the experience of Evelyn, portrayed by Michelle Yeoh, who finds herself subjected to an IRS audit. Subsequently, she discovers that in order to avoid a catastrophic multiversal event, she must establish a connection with an alternate version of herself residing in a different parallel reality. The movie itself incorporates elements from several genre and film media, which is surreal comedy, science fiction, fantasy, martial arts, immigrant narrative, and animation. It also includes a lot of philosophical themes such as existentialism, nihilism, surrealism, and absurdism, as well as themes such as neurodivergence, depression, general trauma, and Asian American identity. So, how everything everywhere all at once started? So actually, the film idea originated with Daniels, who began researching the concept of the multiverse in early 2010. However, in 2018, the release of the animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which also deals with the multiverse concept, caused them to realize that their work was similar and caused them to have a frustrating experience. So the personal photography began in January 2010 with A24 announcing that it will be the finance and distribute the film. The filming wrapped in early March 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. The production of the visual effect was headed by Zack Stotts and with a small team of 5 artists. So, the ideas behind Everything Everywhere All at Once. Interviewed by Damon Weiss at Deadline, okay, Daniel Sandler mentions that the concept originated from the observation of phenomena that could be perceived as somehow trivial. One such of phenomenon is the One such phenomenon is the phenomenon of communal brain trust within a marriage, where spouses are able to anticipate each other's thoughts and needs. Actually, it's a pretty random thoughts, right? But the Daniels laughed at first. They thought it was a silly idea, but as long as they thought it for months and years, they started to attach itself to meaningful stories of their own. Once those things start to latch on, the ideas start to form into something a little bit more exciting. That is how creativity works. We never know where our ideas start and where the ideas end. For the Daniels, the generation gap is a perfect way to explore the multiverse and the way they try to use the multiverse as a proxy for the internet and how it really divided them and their parents. Since the movie it's about a family too. As the Daniels were exploring draft after draft, they also realized how much easier for them to write for the mother as a wedding. That just felt way more personal and way more exciting as somehow they talked about it. So how the power of art and creativity involves in this movie? Mixing so many elements in the movie is very risky and dangerous. This movie incorporates elements from several genres and film media, especially the Daniels decided to use the multiple concept, which is a very risky mess. If you ever seen the movie, you must be familiar with some scenes in the Everything Everywhere All at Once. or he may confuse the meaning of some scenes of the movie. For example, scenes in which Evelyn trains in martial arts and becomes an action film star are visually and conceptually inspired by the films of Wong Kar-wai. They wanted to give the really distinct, memorable, nostalgic, aesthetic, and instantly recognizable scene to the audience as touchstone of Wong Kar-wai works. Mentioned that an interview by NPR, there's a scene that Evelyn and Joy are in the rock first. Where are they both are the rocks? There's no speaking, just words on the screen and wind sound, which the interviewer thought it was really funny for some reason. As one rock says, every new discovery just reminded that we are small and stupid. For Daniels, they tried hard to put science into the movie, which is hard and to get right and complicated, but still inspiring. But for Daniel Kwan, he does not need science to make him feel small and stupid. For him, it is a very personal journey, reflecting on his own struggles with self-worth and negative views of humanity, and storytelling becomes his way of finding hope and being a reminder that humanity can be okay or even awesome. If you know the okay guys, if you know the googly eyes in the movie, it actually represents the third eye in a spiritual stance, which is a medical thing. When the third eye is open and on a being forehead, it allows them to see and provide a perception beyond the ordinary sight and correct any problem that have heaven by being kind. The googly eyes also represent Wayman's perspective on life. He believes that life is big, scary, and often confusing. But instead of filling him with fear, it empowers him to be kind. He says that if nothing matters, you might as well be nice. The bagel, the bagel, represent that when you look at life, there's nothing to see but a meaningless void. The hole in the center of the bagel is a metaphor for joy, Evelyn's daughter, feelings of nothingness, and the general feeling of emptiness in the face of basic existence. The bagel and the googly eye are the most central and important thing in the movie to explain the theme of the film, which is to choose kindness, especially when life is hard. Every Day Everywhere All at Once is a visual feast ripe with metaphors that are packed on multiple concepts. Creative process that Daniels did brings a lot of art in genre into one single film. This example demonstrates that the power of art and creativity can transform a seemingly absurd idea into a globally recognized masterpiece. Despite its initial absurdity, the work has inspired numerous individuals and has become a source of inspiration in its own right. Maybe that's all for this video. My name is Raffa Putra, and thank you for watching. See ya.